Here are the stories we're covering this week in the Category 5.tv newsroom. A consumer DNA testing company has given the FBI access to its 2 million profiles. Microsoft plans to expand Xbox Live to other platforms, including Nintendo Switch and mobile. Google's new Chrome extension automatically checks that your passwords are still secure. And here's another story about Google, but this one's for mobile. Their new Android apps could help the hearing impaired. These stories are coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Category 5.tv newsroom, covering the week's top tech stories with a slight Linux bias.
Jeff Weston,
Yeah, man.
you're building a brand new, beautiful website.
What?
Aren't you?
No. Am I?
Oh, you're a terrible actor.
What?
This is where acting comes into play.
Oh, I didn't know we were acting.
You're supposed to act.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yeah, I'm building a really cool website. Are you building a really cool website? Just because Jeff is confused doesn't mean you have to be. Visit cat5.tv/dreamhost to sign up for unlimited web hosting for your website with unlimited email accounts, MySQL databases, the latest version of PHP, WordPress, and more, and even a free domain name registration. It's less than $6 per month, so sign up today. cat5.tv/dreamhost.
I'm Sasha Rickman, and here are the top stories we're following this week. A consumer DNA testing company has given the FBI access to its 2 million profiles. A large consumer DNA test database, Family Tree DNA, has quietly started allowing the FBI to upload genetic profiles created from crime scenes and corpses. The FBI was able to compare forensic samples with the DNA of any of about 2 million customers of the service normally used by genealogists to locate and contact relatives. A spokesperson for the company said law enforcement agencies have so far uploaded 22 samples. 10 were from the FBI. At least one case has already been solved. Between Family Tree DNA and another database being accessed by police, GEDmatch, it means that your average criminal on the loose probably has at least a second cousin whose DNA can be located. The FBI created a special genealogy team to turn those leads into arrests. Specialized law enforcement databases containing DNA profiles of known felons could soon be irrelevant. Natalie Ram, an assistant law professor at the University of Baltimore, says we are nearing a de facto national DNA database. Some users are already expressing anger over Family Tree's sharing of their DNA data. But Family Tree DNA founder Bennett Greenspan said in a statement that police only have access to the same type of information users already share, such as names, initials, emails, and photos.
Interesting.
Right.
Now, you had thought about, at one point a couple years back, I remember you mentioning this on the air.
Right.
You had thought about doing the DNA test.
And I did not.
And you did not.
I did not do it.
How much was it, though?
Do it. It was
you were going to buy it online.
Exactly. And it was like $100.
Like $100.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, how much is a DNA test really? Really?
It's probably pennies.
No.
No?
No. Thousands.
You think so?
I think so.
Oh, I got my dog once DNA tested too.
Yeah?
Yeah, just to see her ancestry.
That's interesting.
I know, but that's besides the point.
My thought is that if I were to buy a DNA test for $100, say,
Right.
like, you can't be angry if they're using this data to be able to track down criminals. Just don't be a criminal. That's what I'm saying.
Well, don't be a criminal, right? Okay, so the point is that it's really good that they're catching criminals.
Sure.
But it's kind of bad that they're just getting right up all in your personal DNA situation, being that it's not just you now, it's you and everybody you're related to. So, right? So,
yeah.
okay.
If they find your cousin and you're the criminal.
They did this. They found the Golden State Killer, like this notorious serial killer that was on a barrage of killings in California, I think in the 70s. I could be wrong. They just arrested him. He's now...
Based on DNA data?
Based on DNA, because one of his relatives, I wonder if this is the one arrest that they have at least done. One of his relatives had submitted their DNA to DNA testing, and so they knew that of the suspect pool, because that person was related to somebody in the suspect pool, that was the guy, and they arrested him.
Okay.
So it's like, I like it, But at the same time now, I probably won't go get my DNA tested, not because I'm a criminal or I don't assume that I'm related to any.
But your relatives?
But I just don't. Okay, so if
I know there are about 10
There's a
people that are
lot.
related to you
Okay.
watching the show right now.
they're all amazing. Not
Hey,
criminals.
Colleen.
Yeah, exactly. So, say I don't know that I have. Let's say I have a half sister just floating about out there.
Okay.
Right? And she meets an untimely demise, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've tested her DNA and my DNA,
Right.
and now not only are they telling me that I have a relative, but they've passed away and part of a crime scene or something, right?
Okay.
Like it just seems a little bit too. Maybe Big Brothery. I don't know. It seems weird.
I think this is a whole. If Jeff was here right now, this
Yeah.
would be getting irate right now. But I feel like this is interesting technology.
I love it.
And remember, the FBI is not taking confidential data from the service. The FBI is submitting DNA samples.
Right.
And then they're matching it up and saying this is matched to.
Okay.
Just like if you were to upload, and this is the whole purpose of getting your DNA test done, is so that you could upload it and realize, oh, I have a half sister I didn't know about.
Right.
Right? So they're uploading the data and finding, oh, this is related to this person, and this person is in the suspect pool of this particular crime.
Right.
Right? So they're not collecting data, they're making connections based on the DNA profile that they have.
Right.
So is it...
I still kind of want to do, to be honest, I still kind of want to do it. I'm just...
You still want to do the DNA test?
Yeah, I'm just scared. I feel like I have more relatives out there that I don't know about. And I kind of want to find them. But at the same time, I don't want, like, what if one of my relatives is a criminal?
Oh boy. Oh boy. This is getting really dark. You want to know. You want to know. If your half sister that you don't know is a criminal and has apparently been involved in some kind of crime, you need to know about this, Sasha.
I don't know if I do.
I think that our chat room is right on the money. Like, we are in this weird time where we're so afraid of our identity theft issues. And like, if you had so much as my name and my social insurance number, now all of a sudden you're getting credit cards in my name and racking up bills in my name and things like that. So now you've got my DNA profile, and what else can you, like, Robbie clones? Who knows? Who knows?
It's interesting, and I'm really happy that that crimes will be solved by this.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
If it makes Sasha happy, then it's got to be good, right?
Yeah, it's
gotta be good.
It's probably okay. Yeah. Microsoft plans to expand Xbox Live to other platforms, including Nintendo Switch and mobile.
Wow.
The company says bringing the network to more consoles will enable game developers to connect players between iOS, Android, and Switch, in addition to Xbox and any game in the Microsoft Store on Windows PCs. Microsoft says that the release of their cross-platform Xbox Development Kit will take Xbox Live to over 2 billion devices. Taking Xbox Live to other consoles seems like the next natural step after the cross-platform play that exists within certain games such as Fortnite or Minecraft. Sony has been less cooperative when it comes to cross-platform play and allowing other services on its PlayStation network, and it appears this Xbox Live expansion will not apply to PS4 as yet. However, Sony did enable Fortnite crossplay as a beta last year, so perhaps further integration of the major gaming platforms will become a possibility down the line. We'll know more following the Game Developers Conference, which takes place from March 18th to 22nd.
You're more into games than I probably am, I would expect.
Okay, so I have a Switch.
Yes.
And I have a PS4.
Okay.
And I have Dark Souls for both.
And do they talk?
No.
Oh, see?
Right? Because it's PS4.
What the heck?
Right?
Come on. Like, maybe they're onto something. Could Microsoft be onto something that maybe things should just communicate together?
I am horrible at Dark Souls. Dave is the master of it. I can't get past the first boss, and I have it on Switch because I find that Switch is easier to play.
Okay.
And he plays it on PlayStation. Could you imagine if they could talk and he could just
could be
co-op in
together.
and he could help me kill like the asylum demon? I can't even get past that.
Can you
guy.
imagine think about the internet, okay? So the World Wide Web. Imagine if you could only access this part of the web from Microsoft Windows, and this part of the web from Mac, and this part of the web from Linux, and so on and so forth, right?
Right.
Like, just realize that we're in this time when everything needs to work with all of the information and platforms that are available. So, and maybe Fortnite has that, where you can access it from anywhere. Minecraft has that, where any device, I can be on my PC and playing against someone who's on a Switch.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
That's the way it should be. I really like this news. It feels, commonsensical, like the next step. Of course they would have this. PlayStation, Sony, come on, get on board. Do it.
Yeah. Are you a gamer? Like, what's your opinion on that? I think it's silly that this is not the norm. Like, that it's news that Xbox Live is going to be available on other platforms, but it is. That's great.
Right.
I mean, for Xbox Live players to be able to access their PC games and play them on Switch and communicate between them.
Right, like you have a group of people that you're playing games with, and you have a group of friends in real life that also play games, but unless your friends are on the same systems, then you can't play with them, right? That's not fair and fun.
I think the kids have kind of encountered this with our love for Minetest. So Minetest being kind of like very, very similar actually to Minecraft, but it's free, open source, and we've got servers that we can access and play on. But they're friends who play Minecraft on Android tablets, say, find it quite onerous to be able to connect to Minetest because there isn't a really good APK for Android. So you've got to have a PC or you've got to have a laptop in order to play, kind of thing.
Right.
So then they're in that same scenario where they can't play with their friends. So we need to have Minecraft because it's the universal compatible with everything.
Right. Oh, times are changing, though.
They are changing.
It's true. Google's new Chrome extension automatically checks that your passwords are still secure. A new Chrome extension from Google called Password Checkup will automatically check whether your passwords have been exposed in a data breach. Once installed, the extension checks any login details you use. Google says most U.S. sites are supported against a database of around 4 billion usernames and passwords and warns if it finds a match. Password breaches are an unfortunately common occurrence, but so long as you're using a unique password for each website, normally fairly simple to deal with. Just change the login credentials used with the breached website and move on. Unfortunately, when massive breaches like the Collection 1 compromise, so many different passwords can be with so many different passwords, it can be impossible to know which ones of yours are still safe. That's where Google's new extension comes in. Since Password Checkup relies on sending your confidential information to Google, the company is keen to emphasize that this is encrypted and that it has no way of seeing your data. Passwords in the database are stored in a hashed and encrypted form, and any warning that's generated about your details are entirely local to your machine. Google isn't the only company to offer such a service. 1Password's robust password manager includes Watchtower integration to compare your passwords against Have I Been Owned's database of breached credentials. Google's extension is free, and you can use Chrome's built-in password generator to generate a new password if you find one of yours has been compromised.
That is cool.
So this whole time I'm reading this, I'm thinking to myself, I have a really bad habit of trying to come up with a secure password and then forgetting that password and then being like locked out, or I have to click forget my password.
Where's your password manager?
I have just the most basic password manager thing, and I only have 10 passwords.
Is it called Excel?
No. It's on a shared doc. No.
It's a sticky note that she's got written down.
I actually have a sticky note in my wallet of a couple of passwords.
Online banking. Password 123 stuck
Right.
on the monitor.
So what happens is, and it's not intentional because I try and save really important passwords and really strong ones uniquely. But when I get into a panic, like with Discord one time, I got into a panic, couldn't remember my password, and then I was like, well, I'll just put it back to the one that it's tried and true, and I know. Well, that just means that I have quite a few things with the same tried and true and I know password.
Oh,
yeah,
Sasha,
and which
no.
is, I know that that's wrong.
At the very least, just go get yourself a LastPass account. LastPass.com. You can use it on your Chromebook. You can use it on Windows. You can use it on Linux. It's just a Chrome plugin.
Right, I tried to do that.
On your Chromebook, your Chromium
I know.
Chrome browser will memorize your passwords and save them in the cloud in a secure
I know.
form.
I know that to be true, and I tried LastPass, and I have to get back to it. But
You've got to,
the
yes.
master password for LastPass, I typed it in wrong.
No.
I think
Okay.
so.
With something like LastPass,
yeah.
you only have to remember one password.
Right.
So you make it a super strong, super ingenious password that nobody would ever be able to crack. But you're able to remember. And that is the only password that you ever have to remember. But you're in this thing where you're putting the same password into all different services. So if
Just
one of
so
those
bad.
services gets compromised, all of them are.
Right.
Right? So with LastPass, you remember the one password. If LastPass ever got compromised, you'd just change your master password and you're back in business. But what it does is it allows you to go to every service when you're creating your password, generate a new password. And it can be like 32 characters of absolute gibberish.
Right.
You don't ever have to know it because it's stored in the LastPass vault. And so then, and I'm using LastPass as the example because it works very, very well, and there's a free version that's available for you that'll work on your browser. But then you can have secure passwords, and they're different for every single service. So if you find out from Google's new plugin or from Have I Been Owned that your password for, say, a particular service, say your Twitter password has been compromised, well, then you go onto Twitter and you change the password. And it doesn't affect any other service.
Right.
And you're good.
I need to have a password changing day.
You do.
I
It
do.
sounds like. You need to get yourself an account with a reputable password manager.
Right.
LastPass is one of those, and probably the easiest to set up. We can look at
Right.
KeePassX. We can look at doing our own, but LastPass is online. It's available for you. You can install it on your browser. Easy peasy. Set up a free account and start going through changing all your passwords and just make a really strong master password.
You know, I definitely do need to do that.
Do it.
Okay.
We're gonna check in on this next week and see if she's got
I
it done.
didn't say I was going to do it this week.
You are going to do it this week. Otherwise, we are all hacking your account.
You don't know my password.
Oh, if I figure it out
If you
once,
know one, you know all my passwords.
Exactly. Yeah.
Google's new Android apps could help your hearing. That's right. Google has announced that it's bringing Android users two new apps, Sound Amplifier and Live Transcribe, which are designed to make life a little easier for those of you with hearing loss. Live Transcribe takes live speech and turns it into captions using your phone's built-in microphone. And according to Google, it comes in over 70 different languages and dialects. You can also use it for two-way conversations if you can't or don't want to speak using a typed back keyboard within the app. Although Live Transcribe is being rolled out worldwide as a limited beta via the Play Store right now, Google says you'll soon be able to enable it in accessibility settings. Then start Live Transcribe from the accessibility button on the navigation bar. The second app, Sound Amplifier, isn't just designed for people with hearing loss. As Google explained in its announcement blog post, everyone can use a little audio boost from time to time, especially in situations where there's a lot of background noise, like a loud cafe or an airport lounge. You will need to plug in wired headphones into your smartphone to use the app, which works by digitally increasing the volume of the quiet sounds while not over boosting loud sounds. You can also customize the sound by changing the sound enhancement settings and applying noise reduction to minimize distracting background noise with simple sliders and toggles. Both apps will come pre-installed on the Pixel 3 and could potentially make a real difference to people with hearing loss by making it easier to communicate with people around them.
I love it.
Yes.
We talked about how AI in the mobile, so in my phone is going to allow me to do things like this.
Yes.
Brilliant.
I love it.
So not only is it an accessibility feature, but also a safety feature. So if I can use dictation to be able to send text messages or emails, well, now it's done away with the issue of people texting while driving. Because I can legitimately and accurately dictate to my phone, and you know, as things get smarter and better, to be able to control it by verbal command.
Right. And you know what? Even from a health standpoint, you see people on their phones like this, right? And that is so incredibly...
We're getting away from that.
Yeah. So if
get away
exactly, if you can just come out with things like this that really just help you to have your body upright and your eyes alert, you are going to save your spine and probably your life when you're crossing the street.
She works at a chiropractic clinic, folks.
Can you tell?
So she knows what she's talking about.
Save your spine.
I love that. Now the technology in our pocket, so we know that it's getting more and more intelligent, it's getting faster, and it's getting better. And like I say, the AI technology is making its way into phones and the SoCs that are built into the phones. So now we're seeing things like that. We're going to start seeing even better translation services. So we've got the hearing impairment thing covered. So now we're able to hear better. Now we're able to speak in other languages with other people from around the world in real time.
Incredible.
Like, have you seen Tidying Up with Marie Kondo?
Yes.
So you see how her translator, she is amazing. She sits off to the side and she's so like just meek and mild in the background and just so humble in her presentation. And as Marie Kondo is speaking in her native tongue, she's translating in real time, like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And people are carrying conversations in languages that they don't speak.
Yeah, and it's natural. It's intuitive. And
absolutely. To watch it is even natural.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is amazing. I saw Marie Kondo interviewed on Colbert's show. And same thing. It's like, translators there and they're talking and they're carrying on, and it was goofy, but it was amazing,
right,
from the perspective of, wow, that's actually coming to our phones as well. Like, that entire process of being able to carry a conversation in another language,
right,
is unbelievable. But this is just looking at the accessibility aspect. If you're hearing impaired, if you have trouble with distinguishing voices in a busy environment, well, this is something that could really, really help.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that the focus is on this, because there are people that, yeah, I mean, you might not be even diagnosed as hearing impaired, but you do have trouble in situations like that. I know sometimes I do, so... And
sometimes I just want to put on a pair of headphones and just pretend that I can only, I got to hear what she's saying.
That's right. I'm just trying so hard to hear you.
Let's jump right into our cryptocurrency report for this week. CoinGecko says, as of 1800 hours Eastern Time on Wednesday, February 6th, 2019, that Bitcoin is down a little bit, lost about $59.85 US, down at 3402.49. Litecoin is the only riser this week as far as the coins that we're monitoring. It rose just 97 cents US. So, hey, that's the one to invest in, folks.
No, not now. Now it's growing.
I'm totally kidding. I would never say that. Ethereum is at 104.57, a little bit of a loss. So we're kind of seeing that things are still fluctuating, and they're meant to.
Right.
But it's not like a massive rise and a massive drop. It's just like things are just kind of ticking along right now in cryptocurrency. Monero as well. I mean, it was 43.46 last week. It's 42.70 this week in US dollars terms. So it lost 76 cents. It's just kind of everything's hovering along like this.
Right.
The little guy, Stellite, is down at 1.7 ten thousandths of a cent. Turtle coin is at 1.02 ten thousandths of a cent per turtle coin. And remember, you know, as I share these numbers, the cryptocurrency market is always volatile. It never closes, and it could be going like this right now. It could later go like this, and it could then go like this, as we've seen over the past year. We don't know.
Right.
And it's just fun to monitor and watch and learn from the trends.
It'd be really good if you could see into the future with those.
Wouldn't that be good?
Wouldn't it?
As I said, I mean, hey, folks, Litecoin is up 97 cents.
Right.
Had you invested $1 yesterday, you'd have almost 2 today.
That's right. Thanks for watching.
Not really.
Oh,
No, you would have had to invest $32.
Dave is better at knowing these. Invest $100 and you'll have da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I don't know.
You'd be up like $3.
Exactly.
It's not a lot.
No.
It's not a lot. Sorry, I interrupted.
Thanks for watching the Category5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And for more free content, be sure to check out our website. From the Category5.tv newsroom, I'm Sasha Rickman.
And I'm Robbie Ferguson. Hey, thank you so much for being here with us again this week. Looking forward to having you back with us again next week. Same place, same time. We'll see you then. Take care, everybody.
Bye.